Good morning. I'm Jim Hodge, President and CEO of the Children's Trust.
And I'm Ileana Varela with the Herbert Wertheim College of Medicine at FIU. And together, we welcome you to Our Children.
Making sure children are healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeeding in school and in life. This is Our Children, a program brought to you by the Children's Trust.
The new academic school year is just a few days away, so we know there's a lot on your back-to-school checklist. Chief among them, an after-school program.
After-school programs come with a lot of benefits, and our first guest knows a lot about that. But she's here as our upcoming recipient of the David Lawrence Jr. Champion for Children Award. Please welcome the one and only Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who began her career as a school principal. Congresswoman, welcome. I know, we've talked. I know how much you love being a principal. Tell us a little about that experience and how did that affect you bringing kids' issues to the political arena?
Well, I was the principal of Skyway Elementary School, an award-winning school that was 1/3 African-American, 1/3 Hispanic, and 1/3 Anglo. And we were the America 2000 school for the entire nation under President Bush. And so they called us the Little United Nations because everyone in the school spoke so many languages, and we had the school labeled in Spanish so that our children would become bilingual. That was one of our goals. You had to be bilingual, drug-free, and college-bound. And so each year was dedicated to a different theme. And I wrote to all the colleges and universities across the country, and they sent me T-shirts from their universities. So on Fridays, it was college day. So the children wore Harvard and Yale and all FIU, all kinds of T-shirts on that day. And we drilled into them that you will be going to go to college.
Those were such glorious days, and I hate to say that I remember because I'm dating myself, and I know people are out at home doing the math, but obviously your legacy has to be the 5,000 Role Model Excellence Program. What made that program so special? What was the secret? What was your secret with that?
Well, I think I saw a need when I was at Skyway. So I really started it in my little elementary school, and it was 100 African-American male role models of excellence.
So you started with 100?
I started with 100 in the school. And because for some reason, that little black boy stood out from the rest of my children. Every time I had a conference regarding expulsion, suspension, discipline, academics, homework, whatever it was that little black boy. And then when I became a school board member, I found out that the problem was more pervasive. So I started the 500 Role Models of Excellence countywide. And then I started 5,000 Role Models of Excellence countywide to intervene in the lives of boys who are at risk of dropping out of school, to keep them in school, to keep them on a carefully charted path to manhood, and then to send them to college. And I didn't see anyone else doing it. No one was doing anything, so I did it.
Congresswoman, 5,000 Role Models is a well-established program. People don't remember back in the day. How was it so difficult back in the day to get that program started?
Well, it was very difficult because first of all, I'm a woman. And everyone was saying, she doesn't need to be doing that. She doesn't know what needs to happen with boys, and so it was hard. It was not easy. I had to convince the school board. I had to convince the community. And so it was like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, you take the first step without seeing the whole entire staircase. So I had to do that. And I had to convince the entire community that it was the right thing to do. But David Lawrence of the Miami Herald saw my vision, and he embraced me and helped me move the program along with his op-eds and printing letters to the editor, because this was something that was needed because no one was actually talking about mentoring or at risk or dropping out of school, or especially boys. And there was a play that came to the city at that time. It was called "Our Young Black Men Are Dying and Nobody Seems to Care." So Commissioner Dennis Moss at that time rented all of the theaters out that was showing this movie. It was actually a play at Guzman, and all of the buses from Miami-Dade County Metro, we took the boys to this play because it was at a time during the crack cocaine epidemic and where people were being killed as tourists. Do you remember that time back in the day when the 90s, early 90s? And crime was so pervasive, and these children were so involved, and they had no safety net, no one to help them. And people would say that I was a loose cannon. I didn't know what I was talking about. She needs to be stopped. What is her problem? And they would come to my meetings just to see what I was going to do next. And they said, "Oh, give her about 2 years, and we won't hear any more about it." And then after it became 10 years, they said, "Well, give it 2 more years." And here we are at 25 years. We're silver.
But David Lawrence wasn't the only one who saw something in you, because
Octavio Viciado.
and someone named Barack Obama, I think, started a program that I think had a little something to do with. I think you had a little something to do with that, didn't you? Yeah,
my brother's keeper. My brother's keeper. When President Obama decided he was going to kick off my brother's keeper, he invited me to the White House, and I took our superintendent of schools with me, Mr. Alberto Cavallo, to the White House. And in the middle of the president's speech, he said, "I want to start programs like Congresswoman Frederica Wilson's 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project." And I jumped up out of my seat, and the people started applauding, and the president said, "That's right, Frederica, stand up, stand up." So here we are. Yes. So here we are, moving along. We're in 104 schools. It's just the community just has embraced these kids, and it's just wonderful. And the president has embraced us, and it's just fabulous that these children are so loved, and I love them so much. I can't even explain to you how much I love these children.
Congresswoman, you have done so much for kids throughout your lifetime. Is there anything that you still want to accomplish regarding children's issues?
Well, I think I would like to see the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project in every school in the country. And I think our headlines would be different. Because people talk to me about, "Well, what about the girls?" And I said, when have you seen a girl walking down the street with an AK-47 trying to shoot up the community? When have you seen a girl shot by the police for being in the wrong place at the wrong time? When you see that, then let me know. And I think if we just focused on that boy child and gave him love and understanding and lifted him up, he would understand that he's worth something. Little boys who have no vision of themselves in the future because they have no role models at home, they have no father, they have no one to follow, they don't value their lives, and they don't value the lives of others. So if we can lift them all up and say, "You're going to be somebody. I don't care where you live, I don't care who you live with, I don't care where you came from, we're going to make you a man."
I know that you're really concerned about boys in our society, but I also know that you're very concerned about girls and what's happening to them. For example, in Nairobi and your upcoming trip, because this is a tragic situation. Can you very briefly tell us about what that trip is about to Nairobi?
Well, I'm going to Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria. I'm sorry. I'm glad you cleared that up. Two different places.
If you will remember, over 3 years ago, they kidnapped over 300 girls from a Nigerian school. And by being a principal, I read this in the newspaper and everyone was so silent. I said, oh my goodness, what are they doing? Kidnapping girls and sex trafficking and all of that, because I'm concerned about children, period. So I go where the children are. It doesn't matter whether they're girls or boys. And so I started a whole campaign, and the Speaker of the House at that time was Mr. Boehner, and he came to me and he said, Frederica, do you want to go to Nigeria? I said, I do. He said, okay, you got it. So the next 2 days I was on the plane with 2 other Congress people flying to Nigeria to see the girls.
Like 200 girls who were kidnapped.
It was 300 who were kidnapped, and now it's only 110 that have not been released. So we've been working and wearing red every Wednesday. You know, the Republicans, Democrats,
So you're gonna be
everyone is sensitive to this issue. So I'm going back on the same day of the Children's Trust Awards ceremony. That same day, I'm flying back.
Thank you, Congresswoman, for everything that you do. It's been wonderful speaking to you, and congratulations again on your well-deserved Champions for Children Award. Now, you too can join the celebration, of course. Visit thechildrenstrust.org and reserve your seat to the Champions for Children Awards luncheon. It's going to be on Friday, August 25th, when Congresswoman Frederica Wilson will be honored along with several other award recipients.
Up next, we'll talk about a variety of available after-school programs and how to find them. Plus a preview of the Children's Trust Family Expo, which is coming your way in just a few short weeks. Don't touch that remote.
He socializes with other kids. I love everything about it.
My boys absolutely love it here.
Choosing the right after-school program is important for every parent.
It's the best.
That's why these parents rely on the new Children's Trust app. To find the perfect after-school program for your child, download the new Children's Trust app from the App Store. It's free, and you can find all the information you need in the palm of your hand. You can also log on to thechildrenstrust.org. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children. 2 children, same neighborhood, same school, same kindergarten class. The only difference is one has good attendance, the other doesn't. And the effects of absenteeism can last a lifetime. By the time children get to 3rd grade, the battle is either won or lost. Help your child succeed in school and in life by making sure they go to school every day. Their future is in your hands. This message brought to you by the Children's Trust, because all children are our children. Someday, he'll own his own company. She's going to have a career in graphic design. And believe it or not, future pediatrician. And so that your kids can succeed tomorrow, the Children's Trust is investing in them today by supporting hundreds of programs and services dedicated to helping kids and parents. To find a program for your child or learn more about what we can do for your family, log on to thechildrenstrust.org or call 211. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
Welcome back, everyone. After-school programs give mom and dad peace of mind and provide safe as well as enriching opportunities for children. Representing just 2 of the many programs we fund across Miami-Dade County now are Aisha Haney. She's Director of Program Operations at the Overtown Youth Center. And also with us this morning are Annie Mendez, Program Administrator at the Thinking Child Christian Academy. Welcome both.
Welcome to both of you. Aisha, let's start with you.
Okay.
Tell us a little about Overtown Youth Center and the wide variety of activities that take place there throughout the after-school programs.
Absolutely. So Overtown Youth Center is located in historic Overtown. So while we are situated in Overtown, our catchment area, we are far-reaching in terms of reaching children outside our community and neighboring areas. So Wynwood, Little Haiti, Little Havana, Alapata, and our outside of our catchment area. In terms of our services we provide, we work with children entering school from 2nd grade through 12th grade, and then we also have a post-high component working with students up to age 25. Our enrichment programming is really steeped in academic support, but outside of the academic support, we offer enrichment activities, everything from music, dance, culinary, college and career, and work readiness skills, and all of those things are done within that 4.5 hours, and then Saturdays, and then enhancement days for students.
Wow, sounds like a lot of things going on there. So this may be a little difficult to pinpoint, but what would you say ultimately is the biggest benefit to children in your program?
So I would say the hugest benefit for our students is we've built an ecosystem of supports that not only kind of wrap our students around and their families kind of within a system that allows them to be able to get supports, whether they are physical, mental, academic, community. So we devise a system where students can get what they need when they need it, and then we provide them with the resources if they're outside of our areas.
Very nice. Annie, let's bring you into the conversation. Tell us a little bit about your program and who you serve and what your program consists of.
So at the Thinking Child Christian Academy, we serve children from the Florida City, West Homestead community, from 5 years old to 12 years old. At the after-school program, we provide homework help as well as a reading and math tutoring program from the academic standpoint. And then we also offer enrichment activities. Our program name is Solid Seams, and it's an acronym. So we offer Science Academy, an engineering program, an art program, a music program, as well as a soccer program for the kids.
Very nice.
You two have a lot going on, but Annie, we all know that there are kids who go home to empty houses, these so-called latchkey kids. Some kids are a little more fortunate. They may go home to a family member or a neighbor. What would you tell parents is the benefit of choosing, instead of something like that, choosing a structured program like the ones that you have as an alternative to something like that?
Well, I think the biggest benefit for parents from their perspective is the homework help portion of it. Many of our families unfortunately work very long hours, and they may lack the resources to be able to help their children when they get home. So providing that homework help is a big benefit. But I think from our perspective, the biggest benefit is really that we are engaging children both academically and creatively. We're opening their minds so that they are not just at home playing video games or getting in trouble somewhere in the community.
Absolutely.
We're keeping them busy, keeping them safe.
That's keeping them safe more than anything also, right? And Jim, I think that's also one of the reasons why the Children's Trust obviously has decided over the years to fund more than 100 of these after-school programs across the county. How do parents find out where they are?
Yeah, like you said, we're very proud to have over 100 programs throughout the county. The easiest way is to download it on your smartphone. We have the Children's Trust app. It's very interactive. It's very user-friendly. If you would like, you can go to our website, thechildrenstrust.org, and we're very pleased. Last week, we just opened up the new mobile-friendly website, which it's been in the works for almost 6 to 8 months, so we're very pleased with that. If you're old school and you want to pick up a phone, call 211.
Old school.
And just to let people be aware, our viewers be aware, that all the Children's Trust programs serve students with unique abilities, so we're very proud of that.
One thing that I don't want to forget is teenagers. Because they're such a vulnerable population. It's a critical age, and I know that that we also have after-school programs just for them, right?
Yeah, and as Annie mentioned, you don't want kids sitting idle. We don't want teenagers sitting idle. We want them in programs. So we provide after-school programs for our older kids up to 18. It's a little different than the younger kids. It meets 2 or 3 times a week as opposed to 5. And it's not as structured, and it deals with athletics, the arts, college prep, making good decisions. And we want to keep the kids off the street in very structured environments.
This is the Aisha, this is a key for the after-school programs because, obviously engaging the kids in all these activities is important, but in the back of everyone's mind is keeping them safe, right?
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I want you to talk to us about is the Alonzo Mourning involvement in your program.
So Alonzo's involvement is kind of steeped in, started in 2003, and so I think his love of children and making sure that they have opportunities to express their interests, to find out what's unique, to find their special talents. He believes that all children have a talent. It's just giving them the exposure and the opportunity to find it. And that's what the Overtown Youth Center is about. So I think up till recently, he has been focusing in on kind of making sure that we are not just serving the unique area of Overtown, and that we are making sure that children, even outside of our communities, are brought into the fold, those that are at risk or not being served because there may not be a unique Overtown Youth Center in their community.
Anna, you mentioned helping kids with their homework. What do they need help with the most, have you noticed?
Well, with the population we serve, many children are below reading level and below math level. So really our after-school program is trying to bring them to level and above level. So we're supporting what they're doing in their classrooms and enhancing that as well.
And Jim, this is really important to the Children's Trust, that the fact that kids need to learn to read, and that reading is important.
Of course. I mean, we're talking about after-school programming, but also with the Children's Trust, too, their early years. So they come to school in kindergarten ready to read.
Thank you both very much. I love the fact there's so many programs out there, and that the Children's Trust is making it easy for parents to choose, to have quality programs to choose from. So thank you both very much. It's great having you both here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, up next, we're going to have a preview for you of the Children's Trust Family Expo, so stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
The free Children's Trust Family Expo is back, better than ever. Visit the Back to School Boulevard, special areas full of fun and learning, and exhibits showcasing hundreds of programs for kids. Make a creepy crawling friend, try some fencing, visit the book fair, and enjoy loads of entertainment and character appearances. Don't miss the Children's Trust Family Expo, Saturday, September 9th from 10 to 5 at the Miami-Dade County Fair and Expo Center. For maps and schedules, visit thechildrenstrust.org.
He socializes with all the kids. I love everything about him.
My boys absolutely love it here.
Choosing the right after-school program is important for every parent.
He's the best.
That's why these parents rely on the new Children's Trust app. To find the perfect after-school program for your child, download the new Children's Trust app from the App Store. It's free, and you can find all the information you need in the palm of your hand. You can also log on to thechildrenstrust.org. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children. It's not about the classroom, or the computers, or how much money you make. It's not where you live, or where you come from. When it comes to kids succeeding in school, the #1 factor is
me.
Moi.
Yo.
Parents like me and you.
If you want to make a difference in your children's lives, read to them, be selective about their care, encourage them to get good grades. You have to be active and involved. To find the support you need, log on to thechildrenstrust.org. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
Welcome back. Just a couple of weeks after school starts, it'll be time for the biggest family resource fair in Miami-Dade County, made possible by the Children's Trust.
And of course, we're talking about the Children's Trust Family Expo, which this year will be held on Saturday, September 9th. This really is an event which is in a class by itself. Just watch.
Start the school year off right with the Children's Trust Annual Family Expo, featuring valuable resources, activities, and entertainment for the entire family. It provides parents with a wide variety of information, as well as direct contact with all kinds of programs, health and social services.
This is absolutely beautiful. You have a facility where you have, 15,000, 20,000 people coming in, revolving around kids under one roof. You see the services that the communities have to offer, what our providers have to offer, and now as a community realize that our investment in children is our #1 priority.
In a fun and entertaining environment, more than 200 exhibitors distribute important information, including a back-to-school boulevard staffed by Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Miami-Dade County Public Schools is really thrilled to be able to showcase many divisions and special programs and see the awesome innovative programs that we are constantly bringing forth to help our children succeed.
Don't miss the Read to Learn Book Fair, Wacky Wild Science and Planetarium, and the Miami Children's Museum Arts and Crafts area. Not to mention giant bounce houses, rock climbing, fencing, a spelling bee, chess tournaments, and so much more. Attracting more than 15,000 visitors a year, this amazing event offers tons of family and kid-friendly activities for all to enjoy, indoors and out. Lots of fun for the little ones, too. Plus, the ever-popular appearances by children's favorite characters and performances on 2 stages.
It's all free, which is wonderful, and you don't get bored. The kids want to keep going and going and going. I think the parents get tired before the kids do.
Thank you, Children's Trust! Hey!
The Children's Trust Family Expo, the biggest family resource fair in Miami-Dade, all at the Miami-Dade Fair and Expo Center. For more information, call 211 or visit thechildrenstrust.org.
You know, looking at this, there really is nothing else like it in South Florida. And this is going to be your second year because it just occurs to me that last year was your first year. What did you think?
Amazing event.
Yeah.
You know, we had over 15,000 parents and children walk through that door.
I didn't realize that many.
It was huge. I took my children, and the hardest part, I mean, they enjoyed it. The harder parts were leaving. They did not want to leave. You have all the programs and services that's offered in Miami-Dade County under one roof so that parents can go with their children, see what services are offered, and the kids can have a great time.
What was their favorite?
I think it was reading the books and then a lot of the interactive booths that they got to play, and they truly just had an enjoyable time throughout.
Reading the books, that's pretty good. Because your kids are little, so getting them to read early, that's wonderful. A week before the expo, we also have a big event, which is the Champions for Children Awards show. And that's going to be a big one too, because this is special.
This is our signature event. And what makes it even more special is our signature annual event, but this is our 15th year anniversary as a Children's Trust. So we give Congresswoman Wilson's receiving the David Lawrence Award. Renee Garcia would be receiving the Award for Public Policy. And we have a lot of unsung heroes that we're going to recognize for their work in this community. And it's at Jungle Island. And again, that's the next month is back-to-back events, but these are 2 events that I'm truly looking forward to.
And once again, that event is on August 25th, and we mentioned 2 big names, Congresswoman Wilson and Renee Garcia, but you also mentioned the unsung heroes, and I didn't get to go last year, but you did, and I do remember from prior years that there are so many people who make these programs happen, and a lot of and they're not big names. They're just regular folks, but they're people who care, and they're the people who are making it happen.
These are people on the front lines. These are the people making it happen day after day. The hard part for our board and selection is that you have so many great people in this community doing wonderful things for kids and family. It's selecting who we're going to recognize each year.
Well, I'm glad that it's your job, not mine. All right, folks. Remember, I told you I was going to give you that date for the expo again. Mark your calendars. The Free Family Expo, Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Be there.
In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a great start to the school year. I'm Jim Hodge. Thanks for watching this edition of Our Children. I'll see you at the expo.
Bye-bye.
Our Children is brought to you by the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust invests in programs and services that help make children healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeed in school and in life. To access its funded programs and services in Miami-Dade County, visit thechildrenstrust.org, because all children are our children.